Have you ever caught your dog staring at you? Like, really staring? Not a quick glance, not a blink, but that intense, soul-piercing gaze like they're reading your mind? Or maybe your secrets? What if I told you that stare means way more than you think? What if it's not just love, or hunger, or boredom? What if your dog is trying to tell you something? Something deeply emotional. Something ancient. Because that stare has stories, secrets, and science behind it. Welcome to Wildica, where animals speak louder than words. Today, we're diving into the heart-melting, occasionally spooky mystery. Why does your dog stare at you? And trust me, you'll never look at those puppy eyes the same way again. Let's start with something beautiful. When your dog looks into your eyes, their brain releases oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds mothers with their babies. Yes, that powerful. Dogs are among the very few animals that can form emotional bonds through eye contact with humans. In fact, it's one of the major differences between wolves and domesticated dogs. While wolves avoid direct stares to prevent aggression, your dog might just be falling in love with you every time they look your way. Let that sink in. Your dog's stare could literally be their way of saying, "I love you." So the next time your dog gazes into your soul while you're sipping your coffee or lying in bed, don't just shrug it off. That's a silent conversation, built on trust, loyalty, and centuries of evolution. Okay, let's come back to Earth for a second. Because love isn't always the reason behind the stare. Let's talk about the food factor. If your dog tends to fixate on you during dinner, they're not sending you emotional messages. They're sending psychic food requests. They know exactly what they're doing, too. Over time, dogs have learned that a long, persistent stare often results in a treat or a scrap falling their way. And here's the clever part. They're not barking, they're not begging. They're just staring, weaponizing cuteness for maximum effect. Dogs are expert psychologists. They know we're suckers for the eyes. So the food stare is not just a plea, it's a tactic. And more often than not, it works. But what if there's no food in sight? You're not eating, you're not holding a snack, and yet, there they are, staring. Here's where it gets fascinating. Dogs have evolved to read human emotions, often better than other humans can. They watch your face, your body language, your tone of voice, and they stare to gather data. It's like they're scanning your emotional barcode. Are you sad, stressed, happy? They notice. And their stare might just be their way of checking in. It's a kind of emotional surveillance, and it's weirdly comforting. Some studies even suggest that dogs can detect changes in our scent based on emotional states, like fear or anxiety. So yeah, your dog might be staring because you're not okay, and they want to be there for you, even if all they can offer is quiet companionship. And honestly, isn't that what makes dogs amazing? Ever notice how your dog stares at you when you reach for your shoes? Or when you grab your keys? Dogs are masters of routine. They know what comes next. And their stare isn't just passive, it's predictive. They're waiting for cues. They might be wondering, are we going for a walk? Are you leaving me? Are we about to play fetch, or is this just another false alarm? Their stare is their version of a question mark. They're looking at you like a living calendar, waiting for the next event. And in those moments, your dog isn't confused. They're curious. They're engaged. They're watching the world through you. Sometimes, your dog stares because they're uncertain. In a new place, around strangers, or during a stressful situation, your dog may turn to you, not just for comfort, but for direction. Dogs are pack animals, and in their eyes, you're the leader. Your stare is their compass. Your reaction becomes their reality. If you're calm, they'll relax. If you're tense, they'll pick up on it. And if you're silent, they'll stare and wait. So the next time your pup locks eyes with you during something unfamiliar, know this. They trust you completely. That stare is a quiet whisper of faith. Now, not all stares are emotional masterpieces. Some are just, well, weird. Like when your dog stares at you while they poop. Yeah, that happens. Why? It's because in that vulnerable moment, dogs are instinctively looking to their human for protection. In the wild, that's when animals are most defenseless. So your dog is saying, "Hey, I trust you to watch my back while I handle my business." Romantic? Not really. Trusting? Absolutely. So, why does your dog stare at you? Because they love you. Because they want food. Because they're curious, confused, anxious, or waiting. Because you are their world, and they're trying to understand it through your eyes. And now that you know this, let us know in the comments.